Notre Dame took a chance on Marcus Freeman, and the Irish finally got lucky. Welcome into the Voice of College Football, previewing the 2025 season, delivering our record predictions. Keep in mind that just prior to week 0, we're going to sit down with all of you live. We're going to go through the entire schedule. We're going to predict every game and see where it all lands. For now, we look at Notre Dame coming off a national championship game appearance, and isn't it funny to think back that Brian Kelly left Notre Dame because he thought he had to go to LSU to compete for a national championship, to seriously compete because of the academic and other restrictions at Notre Dame, that he could not truly compete with the elite in college football. Give it to Marcus Freeman, he did. We knew he could recruit. We knew he had the charisma, that he could connect to the player. But he turned out to be a pretty damn good football coach, as he has learned on the job. In his third season, Notre Dame comes within one score of Ohio State in the national championship game. They've got it rolling, winning 2 major bowl games in 1 week, something they had not done once since 1993, including Brian Kelly's stay. Now, Notre Dame's last 2 quarterbacks went the transfer portal route to get a veteran, an experienced guy to lead a championship run in Sam Hartman, then Riley Leonard. This time, they're going to cut the cord and go with C.J. Carr, who's going to provide more of a downfield passing threat, we would think, than Riley Leonard, but not the running game component. So Notre Dame is putting the offense in the hands of a young player, but they believe in C.J. Carr. The wide receiver position should be better and deeper than it's been in a long, long time, led by college football playoff hero Jaden Greathouse. You also have Virginia transfer Malachi Fields, Jordan Faison, the speedster, and Wisconsin's Will Pauling, who had an outstanding season for the Badgers 2 years ago. Tight end is in good hands with another great one in the making, possibly in Eli Raridon. It turned out to be a great sign in week 1 and a harbinger of things to come that Notre Dame fielded a inexperienced offensive line with a total of only 6 collegiate starts in a rabid environment at Texas A&M, and with the score tied at 13, put together 2 win the game kind of drives late, even despite Riley Leonard not playing the greatest game out of the gate or him getting off to a good start, period. It showed what Notre Dame's offensive line would show the entire season, a narrative of toughness, grit, tenacity, and togetherness. They had a makeshift offensive line through 2024, but they pulled through time and time again. Now they've got Ashton Craig at center, back from an ACL. Also Anthony Knapp, who was forced into duty as a true freshman, started 15 games in that run to the national championship game. Charles Jagusaw missed 15 games. And then they've got some challenges coming up here in 2025 because they've lost some of their stalwarts in Pat Coogan, Rocco Spindler, and Sam Pendleton. And they, of course, will lean on this offensive line and the running of Jeremiah Love, who was an intriguing back entering 2024, but he burst onto the scene with some huge efforts and, of course, vaulted himself into the national spotlight and a Heisman candidacy here after gaining over 1,100 yards and scoring 17 touchdowns. His knee, injured in that first college football playoff game, hampered him there. Jadarian Price, a capable, more than capable backup, 787 yards and 7 touchdowns, and also Aeneas Williams, a great change of pace as a catcher out of the backfield as well in that number 3 running back position. Al Golden did wonders with the Notre Dame defense that ranked 4th in scoring, but he's off to the NFL to be replaced by Chris Ash, who has said during the offseason doesn't have to fix this defense. He just has to enhance what they already have. Well, what they've lost is much of their leadership and productivity, with 4 NFL draft selections gone. They have waves of players, but generally inexperienced ones along the defensive front, and pick up a transfer player in Louisville's Jared Dawson. On the ends, they've got all sorts of talent with Bryce Young, Boubacar Traore, and Jordan Botelho. At linebacker, athletic, Drake Bowen is the top returnee. And yes, he is a star in the making, and the secondary might have been the best in college football last season, Leonard Moore, 48 tackles, 2 picks. Christian Gray, a game changer one way or the other, gives up big plays but makes a whole bunch of them as well, 35 and 3 interceptions, including the one that saved the game against Penn State, of course, and led to the victory on the final play of the game. Adon Schuler's a good one at safety. North Carolina plays kicker Noah Burnett is now a Golden Domer, 15 of 21 last season. Say what you will about the Notre Dame schedule. I used to rank schedules and would typically have Notre Dame in the top 5 to 10 in America. It was that tough, but they have traded in those Big Ten rivalries for the ACC agreement in the last 10 years, and that has softened it quite a bit, as well as the downfalls of USC and Stanford in particular. But look at the schedule, and the one thing you've got to say about it that is unlike any other schedule in the country, there are no gimmies. Starting with a date at Hard Rock against Miami, the last time the Irish paid a visit to Miami, they got throttled 41-8, and they go in there again with a inexperienced quarterback in C.J. Carr taking on Carson Beck and the Canes. Then they've got a following date against Texas A&M. Of course, they won that game, as we mentioned, by 10 points at College Station last year, but Texas A&M with a really good ball club and Marcel Reed with so much more experience than he had. And, of course, that's not the quarterback Notre Dame faced last year. Reed took over about halfway through for Connor Weigman. So 2 winnable games, of course. Notre Dame's going to be the favorite in both of those contests, but 2 very losable games. The 2 interesting road games I see here, at Arkansas and at Pitt. Notre Dame substantially better, most likely, than both of those teams. If they're not, then forget the college football playoff, and this conversation is somewhat irrelevant. But those are possible issues on the road. Arkansas beat Tennessee there, has a history of winning against superior opponents at home. A couple home games are intriguing. Boise State, of course, and Notre Dame have never gotten together, I do not believe. And then 2 teams that get together every year, Notre Dame and USC, of course, in the greatest cross-sectional rivalry in all of college football. Notre Dame loses once. Who do they fall to? Well, if you check out all of our preview videos, you will find the game in which we are notching as a win for a team in a conference that will play Notre Dame non-conference. So look out for that. The most likely loss, based on the percentages and the logic, is C.J. Carr in a hostile environment week 1 against Miami on the road. Texas A&M is going to be a tough out, but at least the Irish have that game at home in week 2. And then after that, it's probably USC, although they've got road dates against Arkansas and Pitt, as we note. So again, check out all the videos, and you can unveil who we've got Notre Dame losing to. Or you could check out and join us for our live stream, in which we're going to break down the entire schedule, week 0 on the week of week 0. So be here for a lot of special programming as we lead you into 2025. That includes a national championship reset and also all-time program rankings right here at the Voice of College Football.